Someone asked me this week how often they should be posting on LinkedIn. And here's the honest answer: probably less than you've been told, and probably more consistently than you've been doing. This is one of the reasons why I love LinkedIn so much, because I am all about ease in my business and these freedom. These are like words of the year from a couple years ago, but I couldn't put them down. I couldn't put them away when the year ended because it was important to me. Ease and freedom are important for me to build. That's why I created this business, right? So, um, you don't have to post 3 times a day. You don't have to dance and point or any of that stuff. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's so much simpler. So the real number, if so let me just preface this by saying this: the algorithm changes so often. Okay, so this is not, it's based on algorithm studies that other people do that I read and study and share with you all when I find them. Um, but it's not up to the moment right now. Okay, because it changes so often. And if I said to you, here's exactly what the, I also know that consistently for the past decade, what LinkedIn has rewarded was 2 to 3 posts a week done consistently, not like 7 days a week for 3 weeks and then not for a month and a half, right? So consistency, not so consistent, not constant. Does that make sense? Consistent, not constant. So that's what we're looking for when you are creating your LinkedIn content strategy. 2 to 3 times a week. You can do that, right? We all can do that. And we can schedule it right in the app. You don't even need any fancy scheduling tools, right? You guys, I still have wet hair from getting in the shower. That's what happens when you do these at 9 a.m. 2 to 3 times a week, done for a year. Like if you just say from now, even now till the end of the year, right? It's going to be daily. Most posting frequency advice comes from people who sell content services. So, what do you think they're going to tell us, right? Or from creators whose business it is to sell content. You have a business to run. Even if you're a content creator and you're looking for new clients, right? Don't post too often. In fact, when I decided to do this series, this daily series, my biggest fear in doing it was, am I gonna shoot myself in the foot with the LinkedIn algorithm? Because the LinkedIn algorithm, you fight against your own posts when you post too often, right? Now, I decided to do this daily series because I believe, and this is day 8, and it's only been 8 days, and it has already gotten me in front of people that gotten me some opportunities, some nice, sweet opportunities. People that just saw my face again that haven't seen me in a while, or people that asked about this, like, what are you doing? How are you doing it? Right? Which is opportunities for me. So that's really why I did it. And that's why I do everything on LinkedIn, right? So yes, we pay attention to, we don't want to fight the algorithm and compete against our own posts, right? So generally 2 to 3 times a week. So in addition to this daily live, you'll see me post probably 2 to 3 times a week, right? The algorithm and the human, right, both reward the pattern, not the volume. Okay. So if you're listening, and remember when I say this, at the age of at the risk of really sounding like a absolute dinosaur here, I have been doing this LinkedIn stuff for more than a decade. Many people that are teaching LinkedIn strategy now are new to this, and they don't have the breadth of the history that I have with this platform. So when I tell you this, it comes from years and years and years of experience and years of testing and doing things like this, right? So if you set the bar at daily, regular posts, not like fun things like I'm doing with this video, and you fail in week 3, and then you don't post for 2 more months out of guilt, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So stop. Just stop a couple times a week, right? Unrealistic numbers don't produce more posts. It just produce more quitting. Okay. So think about how often you're posting right now, and maybe go back and look at your posting history. Can you see like spurts? Right? And that it's okay to have a spurt here and there, but you don't want a history. You don't want to consistent, or you don't want a pattern of spurts, right? You don't want a pattern of spurts, because you want to do is you want to train the LinkedIn algorithm as to continue, that you're continually showing up, right? Continually showing up. This is so go back and look, and if you want, jump in here in the comments here on YouTube or on LinkedIn, and let me know what you're seeing when you go back and look at your history of posts. It's really pretty simple to do. You just go to your activity and just go to posts and just scroll through it and see see what your history tells you, and then just, maybe even just for the next month. What if I'm right? What if I'm right? Right? And 2-3 posts a week, 2-3 posts a week is the right number for you to start seeing some serious action on LinkedIn. So remember, I'm here every day at 9 a.m. Eastern for 10-15 minutes through December 18th. I'm calling this the category of one. I am here every day with a different theme. And I will be doing this, for the foreseeable future, for the next couple months, because I'm testing things for you, but again, it's already proving to be valuable to me, and it's an easy thing for me to do and show up, right? I have an outline of what I want to talk to you about, and then I just come on here and talk, and you can tell this isn't scripted, right? Nothing I do is scripted. So back to our topic for today. Pick the number that you can hit on your worst week. Not your best week, not the week where you've cleared the decks and you're down to really get some work done. Not that week. The week that, your parents are in town, you're babysitting your kids or your grandkids, or your kids are out of school. Like, pick your worst week. What number can you pick? If you think 1 is that number, then your number's 1. Okay. I'd like to see if you two, like, maybe push yourself a little bit, right? To get to 2, 3 would be, 2 or 3. I mean, I don't even want to say 3 would be great, because 2's great. 2's great. A cadence that people can predict, a cadence that LinkedIn's algorithm recognizes, is worth way more than a cadence that impresses anybody. Because who do you think you're impressing, right? Who do you think you're impressing? Predictable is what makes you feel established. Being predictable over and over and over, having the same, having the audience of people, the people that are coming to follow you and know you, having them know when to expect to see your stuff, that's way more valuable than, trying to impress them. And if you need to, attach it to a day, right? Tuesday mornings, when you have something to say, that's a little bit harder, right? That's a little bit harder. And that's why our Sundays on this video series is like kind of plan your week, right? So come hang out with me Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and we'll talk about how you can do that. You can even schedule them, right? You can even schedule them. Maybe you want to incorporate a LinkedIn newsletter into that, and that goes out at a specific day, right? So attach it to a day, not a feeling, because it's going to be more predictable when you do that, and it's going to happen more. And at the end of the day, you want it to happen, right? You want it to happen more, because that's how you show up as an influencer. That's how you show up as a leader. That's how you show up to serve your audience. And, if you need to, start at 1 a week, and then raise it later if you want, right? Nobody is noticing this. Nobody says, oh my gosh, I've noticed she only did 1 post a week and now she does 3. Like, they do notice if you stop showing up at all, right? Like, I think about those people, like, maybe there's somebody that pops into your head that's like, wow, I haven't seen anything from them in a really long time. And then you start Googling them and you start looking at their Facebook, like, what happened to them, right? So don't be that person. Be consistent. You can always raise it later. Nobody notices you raising it a little bit, but they do notice when you go dark. So the right number for you is the one that you're still going to be doing 6 months from now. That's the right number from you. So understand that I'm talking here about posting. This is posts that you create and you comment and it goes on your wall. Because by the way, that's all part of your presence here on LinkedIn. It's all part of your profile. When somebody checks you out, like if somebody comes across this video on their wall and they were like, who is this Karen chick? And they click my profile, the content that's on my feed is a part of that profile, right? So you want to have content on your feed. But when you are showing up on LinkedIn, and we talked about this on the ritual, which I think is Tuesdays, comments count. Your headline rides along every single comment that you make on people. Like, so when you comment here on this video, right, everybody else that sees this video sees your headline, right? So you want to be commenting, you want to be jumping into conversations. Replies count. Replies, answering somebody properly does way more for your relationships than a post that they scroll by, right? So make sure that those also comment that the things that we talk about in the ritual are not getting sacrificed for this 2 posts a week. And again, one warm message a week to actually start a conversation with somebody is way more valuable than 4 posts. So be consistent with 1 or 2 posts a week, maybe 3, and know that that's publishing, but presence isn't the same as publishing. Okay, you can be visible on a week you post nothing. I don't want you to do that, but you can still be visible on a week you post nothing. But that publishing piece is what we're talking about today, and the publishing piece is what's important because it is part of your presence. Now, let me just say this. Nothing bad happens if a week goes by and you post nothing. Your reach doesn't get punished. Your account doesn't get flagged. You just weren't in front of anyone that week, which is if you're using LinkedIn for strategy to build your career, you want to get in front of people. But the damage isn't the missed week, right? It's 3 months of avoidance that follow that missed week, because starting again feels a little bit like admitting you stopped, right? So just do it. Just do it. It's okay if you miss a week. It's okay if you miss your schedule. Just don't stop because you missed a schedule. Don't create an apology post, right? Don't do that because nobody cares enough about that you missed, right, for an apology post. I'm saying that this is day 8, but really I already skipped a day and it's day 8. I just went to the next day. It was one of those mornings where I was at the beach house. My daughter was there with my grandkids. I scheduled it. And then all of a sudden it was 10 o'clock and I was like, oh my God. And then I thought about doing it and it just wasn't going to happen. And I just said, all right, nothing bad happened because I did that, right? Nothing bad happened. I didn't apologize for it. I'm not apologizing for it now. I just continue to show up. I want you to continue to show up. Do I think it's the last time in these 28 days that I'm going to miss? I don't. I hope it is, right? I hope it is. I intend to be here every day. But, freedom and ease, which is why we love LinkedIn so much around here. So just come back with a post, not an apology post. Nobody noticed. Explaining makes it about you rather than about them. There's no comeback required, right? Just post. So your work for today is to pick your number. Pick a number. Say it out loud right now, right? If you want, you can drop it in the chat here. You drop it in the YouTube or the LinkedIn chat, and I'll come in and hang out with you about that. But not the aspirational one. Not that I'm going to post every day for 128 days. Not that one. The couple times a week one. The one that's true on your worst week. And then put it in your calendar as a recurring event with a date attached to it. Why not, right? So if you just got here, this is category of 1. I'm here every day at 9 a.m. Eastern for 10-15 minutes. What we're talking about here is the strategy behind the work you do on LinkedIn. All of this, the intention is to drive people to your profile. So we want you to have a great profile. So because of that, we are doing a 3-day LinkedIn profile intensive in September of 2026. Comment category if you want, and we'll put you on the list for that. It's completely free. And we're just going to dive deep into how to update your profile. So if you do that in September, you're setting yourself up for a really successful Q4. And that's what I want for you. I want there to be more wealthy women in the world. We start by creating by investing in ourselves and our own personal brands. And that's what we're doing here. So yesterday I talked about why clients hire someone less qualified than you. Go watch that one if you missed it. I just realized that I did the entire wrong video here. I did tomorrow's video here. I didn't even do that one yet. So guess what? Tomorrow is going to be the category, no, it's not progress, not perfection. Tomorrow we're going to talk about why clients hire someone less qualified than you. And I guess I'm going to change the header image that goes with this. Go watch that one if you missed it. Tomorrow hang out with me tomorrow for that one. And tomorrow we'll be on day 9. All right. I'll see you then.